Whew. I walked over here, guys. I don't know how many miles I walked. Probably like 2 or 3. Maybe more. I don't know. But I made it. What should I order? Last time I got some snow crab legs, but they snow crab legs was not hitting like I wanted it to. It just wasn't. So, I think I might. You will always be my friend. I will never lie. I might get the combo basket with the catfish with it and those oysters too. Oh yes, honey, yes, yes. You know, I might get like the combo basket. It comes with shrimp, catfish, and oysters, and then I might turn around and order some oysters to go. So,
Hi.
hello.
Sorry for the wait.
It's okay.
Can I start you off with something to drink?
Oh yeah, some water.
Water? Okay.
Yeah, and I'll have a glass. You guys have margarita?
Yeah.
How do you guys make yours? Is it like, what kind of glass does it come in?
It's like a cup regular.
Big?
Medium?
Medium?
I think it's 12 ounces, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me just do Pinot Grigio. A glass of Pinot Grigio wine.
Okay.
And I want some water.
Okay.
Water first, because I'm like, and I'm gonna do a combo basket.
Which one?
This one.
Combo pasta.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What kind of fries would you like?
Cajun.
Cajun?
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it for right now.
Okay. Okay, I'll be back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
She could have left the menus, but that might be a sign telling me that I don't need to order anymore. Anything else. That just might be a sign like, don't order nothing else. Yo, when I said I came, this is my second time here, right? The first time I came was, I think it probably was like a week ago, right? I ordered, I got freaking snow crab legs. I was just being greedy. I got some snow crab legs. That came with potatoes and corn. And on top of that, I ordered a whole seafood combo basket. What I just ordered just now. And I'm like, I'm looking at everything that I had. I think I took a picture of it too. I'm looking at everything that I ordered, and I'm like, I can't eat all this. I ate most of it though, and then I had saved some for later. You will always be my friend. I will never lie. I'm about to fuck this shit up, yo. They got some good ass seafoods. Like, I be so happy when I find a good restaurant that has good food. Like, yeah. I think I found this one off of Instagram. Oh, I need some water.
Oh, no, sorry.
She's slipping. She bring me the wine. And you see I'm sitting up here sweating. I walked over here. How you gonna bring me the wine first? It's like, come on, lady. I just said, did y'all hear me say I wanted water? It ain't wrapped too tight. Like, even when I came last time and I ordered the snow crab legs, right? The garlic butter. And granted, I'm from the South, so y'all know I like to just freestyle, like, okay. Oh, no straw? You have straws? Yeah. I just like to freestyle it, just like to do it how I do it, right? Is she nervous? Because I know when people are, like, nervous, their frontal lobes kind of get deactivated, right? They're not able to think clearly, so maybe that's what it is. I don't see why she's nervous. What the fuck you nervous about? Okay. It's like the third time. She said, sorry. Like, come on now. Come on, sis. Nah. But yo, when I came the other time, right, and I had ordered the snow crab legs. And the waiter come around, it's like, all right. And he was like getting the bib ready to put on me. And I'm just like, I don't need that. And he was like, no, come on. Like, yeah, it's good. It's gonna help protect your outfit. It's like, nah, bro. Like, I know how to eat, y'all. Nothing got on my clothes. Like, he put it on me because he insisted that he put it on me. Like, I let him put it on me, right? He's like, God damn, bro, I don't need that. He put this shit on me. And then I just took it right off, right? Like, he was like, oh, I was like, I don't need it though. Like, I told you I don't need it. You're gonna like force me to wear a freaking bib? Like, seriously? I don't need that shit. I'm not worried about no freaking butter. But I think that was the day, wait, what was I wearing? I think I was wearing my Jamaican Marley dress. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I was wearing something that, I paid what, $30 for that out in Brooklyn. But I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to throw down, you know what I'm saying? I'm throwing down. Ain't like I'm wearing like a $300,000, $500,000 outfit. It's not that serious. Who is watching? Oh yes, it feels good. And they have indoor, but I chose to sit outside because it's just, I need some natural air, you know what I'm saying? I love the natural flow air coming through here. It's pretty airy. I'm the only one out here too. Okay. Like, the table is it's like, has a texture to it, but it's still very smooth. So I'm like, this is the first table that I had trouble standing my phone up on. Like, it kept sliding, yo. Shit weird. It's a nice neighborhood. I'm on the west side. Like, yo, people on the west side of Manhattan, they more down to earth. I know I said like Brooklynites are more down to earth. I can tell the difference, like different type of New Yorkers, right? But you don't even gotta go away to Brooklyn to see a difference in the character of the people here, right? You could just come to the west side. Totally different vibe than east siders. I must say so. But yeah, like that's just the vibe I'm getting. I pick up on people's energy. I'm like, they down to earth over there, just regular people. It's just different. I'm gonna go west. I want to go further west though, because I think I want to explore. I like to explore, so I'm gonna see like what's back that way when I leave from here. I might take y'all with me if I have enough battery. I walked through the park from the east side to the west side. I walked through Central Park, and I was crossing my fingers hoping I did not get lost. Because when I came over here last time, how about the twists and turns, the bends and the winds of the park led me back to where I started at. So I was out in the freaking park longer than what I wanted it to be last time I came over here. I was like, oh hell no. How the fuck I end up right back where I started? I was so annoyed. I was so frustrated. I kept going. I was just like, seriously? It's those curves. I'm thinking like, because I'm pretty good with orientation usually. Like, I can tell, okay, I'm walking north, I'm walking south, and I'm supposed to be walking west. But somehow west turns into north, north turns back to east. So I'm back on the east where I started. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm never gonna get to this freaking restaurant. I was just like, I was so annoyed, yo. I was like, it was hot. It's hot out here now. And I was worried that it was gonna come down and start raining because I felt like 3 raindrops. on my way over here, but it has not rained. So the universe, listen to me, the universe is like, all right, we're not gonna make it rain. I don't care if it rains now. I'm already under shelter right now, and most likely I will take the train back. I'm not gonna walk back. Wait, yo, that is not a real baby. Hell nah. Man carrying a baby doll? That's different. Maybe that's for his granddaughter. Things you see out here. My cousin from Florida gonna send me this video, right, on Facebook of this woman. Like, you always see crazy shit, right? So he was like, is this the reason why you like New York so much? And I'm looking at, I click on the video, right, after reading his message, and I'm watching the video, and I'm like, okay, it's people on a train. But the train is where you usually see a lot of crazy shit too. I mean, you see crazy shit all over, but you see some stuff. They go down on New York City train, right? So, like, there's this couple. He was a black man, I think, and a Latino woman, right? On the New York City train. And he was in a diaper. I think that's all he was wearing. I can't remember. I think he was in a diaper, though. And she was, like, nurturing him. And I think she was about to start breastfeeding him. And then this other lady, the other lady, who I think was black, she was like, seriously? You gonna do that right here on the train? Like, seriously? So the mommy, right, who was nurturing the I like his locks. He has some nice locks. Who was nurturing the black man, right, the baby boy? She got triggered. She jumped up and went off on her ass, yo. She went off, but she put her ass in her place. She was like, mind your motherfucking business. You the only one got a problem with it. Mind your motherfucking business. She went all up, and while she doing that, yo, her titties just flopping and shit, like all out, yo, exposed, right? And then the black lady who called herself confronting her for being with her little baby boy. The little baby boy obviously is a adult man, right? She, you know, she couldn't do shit. She just said there like, all right, you got it. But it's just like, yo, seriously, mind your business. This lady wasn't bothering nobody. Now, from the video, I couldn't see that she was necessarily breastfeeding him. But when she stood up, her titties was just blah, 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 just flapping, right? I thought the video was funny. It was hilarious. It was cute too, though. I think that's so cute. And then after that, like, he goes and he sits on her lap and she comforts him. I'm like, this is a cute little story, yo. It had a beginning, middle, and end to it. It's so cute. It's a cute video. But I'm like, that's really nothing. That's pale in comparison to what you usually see here in New York. That's nothing. I mean, when I was doing my cap and gown photo shoot, right, for my PhD graduation, I was out in Central Park and I saw white men wearing diapers rolling around in the grass, and just like, and my photographer looked over and he just like, yo, what? I was like, yo, that's just, they are baby boys, basically. That's what they call it. You know, it's age play. People don't really get it, but it's called age play within the world of BDSM. And they're just having fun. I would not be all in the grass, though, because sometimes grass, like, depending on what kind of chemicals and stuff that they put in there, that shit can make you itchy, yo. I remember being a kid playing in the grass, but hell no. I would not be rolling around in that grass, but they was having fun. They was also doing a photo shoot, too, though, but just like, that is not uncommon, yo. That's not uncommon. That's not really, I mean, I guess that's part of why I like New York, but that's not the reason why I moved to New York. I didn't know anything about New York necessarily when I moved here. I learned a lot about New York after moving here in 2014, though. Like, you know, of course you get to be yourself. New York, I feel like New York, just like any other city, right? It's made for who it's made for. New York is not made for everybody, or everybody maybe not made for New York. But when I moved here, New York, it was just perfect. Everything fell in place for me. And I moved here blindly, right? Like I mean, I had visited here before, like with my family on a family reunion when I was much younger, but I did not prepare necessarily, like in terms of coming here, you know, checking out apartments and researching. I didn't do that before I moved. I just moved here. Literally, I just moved here. And, you know, everything fell in place. When I say like, yo, shit fell in place. Like, you know how sometimes people just up and move and go to a totally different state and they run into problems, especially a city like New York, as expensive as it is. They run into problems. I didn't have that, so I think it was just the universe. I mean, I up and moved to fucking Atlanta, Georgia from Florida, and I was only 6 hours away from where I moved in Jacksonville, right? And I fucking had some problems, yo. I moved there on 2 different occasions. And it was struggle, but that was also during the middle of the pandemic too. But I also, to the point of New York, I think that New York has much more opportunities. It does, much more resources apparently. It's like much more of everything you see in any other city. It has much more, right? So much more jobs, much more resources, social services. It's just more of it, greater access to it. So it's like no way you can't make it here. I think it's easier to make it here. People say if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, because they're speaking, I guess, to like probably the harshness of the people sometimes. Like people can be maybe so-called cold-hearted, but I wouldn't say so. I mean, New Yorkers are cool, they're nice. They're just down to earth and they are very blunt and direct. But people say if you can make it anywhere. I'm just like, actually, it's easy to make it here in New York. This shit easy. It's easy living right here. You know what the fuck is hard? LA. That shit whitewashed and motherfucker, right? It's expensive. The food is way more expensive in Los Angeles than it is in New York. Okay, let's admit that. Let's just put that out there. And shit is spread out. They do have public transportation, but you still need a goddamn car. I did not get a car when I was there, because I'm just stubborn like that. I did not get a car. Oh, looks like there is my food. Oh, yes. Thank you. I don't know what y'all season this stuff with, but it tastes so good. Yes, it does. Thank you. Of course, because if it didn't, I would not be back. Baby. Yeah. That's another thing. This shit comes straight out of Greece too, y'all. And you can tell it's fresh. You know how like some places that serve fried food, they keep like reusing the same grease. You can tell when your food has been cooked in fresh grease versus some reused grease, right? Like over and over and over again. And this shit fresh as hell. Like fresh to death. I'm a foodie, so I would know. I've been calling restaurants out too. When they serve me some fried food that I can tell that grease is old, I'm like, come on, bro. This shit hit. That's why I had to come back. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Teresa, I see you've been watching for a while. How are you? How are you today? Oh, that's what I'm working with. Some catfish, some shrimp, and some fried oysters. These little things are fried oysters. I discovered fried oysters when I was living in LA. When there's nothing to do, there's still something to do. Sightseeing can be enjoyable, people included. I know, right? Yeah, you live in New York, right? Remind me. 'Cause I know my memory can be bad. You live in New York. I'm trying to remember. Where you live at? Because I say that because a lot of people, especially from my Ubawa literary network, they are from Northeast U.S. But yeah, sightseeing, yeah, like even just sitting inside my apartment, looking outside my window, yo, it's so much activity, just people walking by, and there's always some shit happening in my neighborhood. Because there's so much activity, so many people. And I don't even really be trying to people watch. It just kind of happens like that. You live in, okay, I figured that. You are from Brooklyn, yeah. I remember now. Yeah, a lot of New Yorkers moved down south. Now, North Carolina is nice. The South is nice too, don't get me wrong. Hell, I think all over the U.S. is nice because I've never left. I have a passport, but I have never left the U.S., at least not yet. People say, well, why? Because the U.S. is beautiful, okay? It's so, like, everything that you see in every other place, you can find right here in the U.S. I mean, granted, there are some things that people may say, like the tropics, clear blue water, but you can get that if you go all the way down to the bottom of the U.S., like, you know, Miami. But I think even their beaches, even Miami beaches are starting to get polluted. I don't know. Look, this man had like a chef hat on, but it's really his locks. Yeah, down there there's a lot of greenery. It's so good. This place has happy hour from 12 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That's like happy hours. That's a long time to have drinks marked down. But I don't need people be sleeping on this place. I don't know how old it's been here, how long it's been here. But today's special blue crab is about a pound, $20. Okay. I found this place on Instagram. I think it was an ad. You know how they show you ads? You could just be thinking about wanting to get some seafood, and then automatically these social platforms will feed you ads about what you're thinking about. I'm like, damn, y'all going too fast here now. It's hot. I gotta let it cool down first. It's still hot. I'm ready to dig up in this thing. It's so fresh. Catfish. I tried to order some delivery from this restaurant yesterday, and they say don't deliver to my address. I'm like, but why not? I think it's like literally only 2 miles from where I live, but it's on the other side. Maybe they only deliver on the west side. I live on the east side, so like, I ended up ordering some freaking, what I ordered? Some Mexican food, I think. Oh, and that's another reason why yesterday I was just chilling and relaxing, because it actually rained here in New York yesterday. It's been raining a lot in New York City, but that's a good thing. We need the rain. But I was just sitting inside enjoying the rain, and that helped me also finish my paintings, because I actually wasn't going to finish them. I was going to finish them today, but I heard the raindrops come down, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's setting the vibe. Setting the vibe. So I just finished painting. Maybe the tour is all the way over here. Big ass tour bus. Top view. Top View, New York City for $29. You know what? I might book me a tour. I did that when I first moved to LA, because I moved to Hollywood, California when I moved to LA. And I was just looking for shit to do, and I would just book reservations for tours. It was fun. I might do that. I haven't done one of those tour bus tours here in New York since I moved here. We did it for our family reunion when I came here. What year was that? That was like post 9/11 when I came here. It was like the year following, like right after. I remember because they still had the construction sites. They had it blocked off. They had it fenced off, and it was looking terrible. We came here for our reunion. Oh yeah. How do you like North Carolina compared to New York? You probably like it better, I guess. That's probably why you're there, I guess. I'm about to visit my hometown. You know what? I've been away from my hometown of Jacksonville, Florida for 6 years now. Oh my God, I'm about to say 5 years, but it's been 6 years. So I'm about to head down there. I already booked my flight. I already booked everything. And I'm about to say, please take that spray somewhere else, bitch. I'm eating now. Come on now. I know y'all want to keep it clean and all that, but all that spraying while I'm eating. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, how's everything with you?
It's great. I had to come back because it was so good.
Thank you. You live around here, right?
No, I live in the Upper East Side. I mean, I guess it's close. It's just like a couple miles away.
Not too bad. How'd you get here?
I walk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, yeah, I walked through the Central Park.
Yeah, I like to walk too, like one day off. I don't want to stay home. I don't know why. Like I always like go to the park area.
Yeah.
Can you show you what I gotta do? Just go to a bar. You know, I do walk in the Central Park. I go to Queens.
Okay.
Friends, I got one of friends from Queens.
I haven't really been to Queens as much, but it's just like right across the bridge.
Actually, yeah, it's not that bad though. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just more like the trains and things. Because I live in the Bronx though, so it's checking me out later, like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But not bad though. It's a lot of good food around there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I always be trying to look for good places with good food. I end up going to Brooklyn because,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because it's not that much good food like on Upper East Side.
I know it's not, right?
But this place is really good.
What's your food you
Everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
I'm not
Thai
really
food.
picky. As long as it's good. And it's seasoned good, yeah.
Right. I went to a place, like a Thai restaurant. It's called Thai Villa. By 19th Street, Fifth Avenue. Midtown. Oh my God, they cook so good.
I wonder if I ordered from them before.
Yeah?
Because I just found a Thai restaurant from Grubhub.
Okay.
I order a lot on Grubhub. I tried to order from you guys yesterday on Grubhub, but you guys you aren't on Grubhub.
We are.
You're on Grubhub?
The thing is like they just do mile, like you know.
A mile radius.
Yeah,
Okay.
mile.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm more like 2 miles away.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thai food is pretty good.
Oh yeah, though. And then they use a lot of healthy stuff, though. Like use lemongrass, they use like ginger, they use basil. They use a lot of vegetables. Like she's not like, well, I mean at least for our culture, for my culture,
Yeah.
it's like we not get used to eat those kind of vegetables. You know, like.
What's your ethnic background?
Well, my mom's from Peru, my dad's from Mexico.
Peru, okay.
Yeah, so we don't eat those kind of vegetables. We don't eat basil, or like, you know, in my home nobody knows.
Peru, is that Central America or South?
It's Central America. Like
Central, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, now I get like Asian foods, like Thai, like I said, Korean food, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good.
A little bit more variety.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
more balance, you say. Like, with the vegetables that they put.
Right.
Rice. I don't really like rice, but I mean, I like it if it's seasoned good and it has meat in it.
Yeah, now they want to get like coconut rice.
I had that one.
Yeah, it's good though. They had one place they put like a chicken and a couple things in it. It's so good.
Coconut, I had pineapple too.
The pineapple
Yeah.
rice is good. They're good though. They're good.
Yeah.
So how's family? How's your family?
My family is good. I'm going to visit my family soon. Very soon, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Florida. My family is in Florida.
Oh yeah? Okay. How long are you gonna stay there? How long?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
So, most of my uncle and family live in Jersey, so it's not really fun to look at this.
Your family's in Jersey?
Yeah.
What part?
Patterson.
Where?
Patterson?
I don't even know where that is.
From New York to there, like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. So you live out here by yourself?
Yeah, very much. Me and my sister live in Costa Rica, so I spend more time to work than stay home.
Yeah. Because you was working last time I came.
Yeah, no, I'm here every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just one day off, you know. So I mean, I think just like they just said, like when it's get day off, like after I do my laundry, clean the house, whatever I gotta do. After I finish, I'm like, oh, what am I doing here? So yeah, let me walk around, you know, like going out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get used to stay home for
I think I'm a homebody, but I also like to go out too. So I'm both. I like to be out and about,
stay home.
but I do stay home like a lot. I mean, I work from home, so
Oh, okay, so it's not much.
I'm home a lot. And then sometimes I get tired of being at home, so I'll just get out, get some fresh air.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, enjoy.
Thank you. Can I have some more water? You moved because Coney Island was not the place to raise kids. That's the guy who works here, just striking up a conversation. Friendly. People say New Yorkers aren't friendly, but I beg to differ. Okay, you say you moved because Coney Island was not the place to raise kids, and I was getting away from an abusive marriage. It was verbal, but I wasn't trying to see if it would have become physical. Where I first moved to was good, then I had to move again. My current home is in a great location. That's good. Yeah, my last serious relationship was all of that. It was all of the above. That's kind of what led me to move to LA. That shit was something else, yo. It was something else. And he followed me. Like that's how freaking toxic it was. Like I'm trying to get away, and because we were so intertwined, my plan didn't work out. Like, you would think moving to the other side of the country, you know, you'll be able to get away, right, from a person that you're trying to get away from. Hell no. He followed me. Oh, great. And he followed me because I be expecting shit, you know what I'm saying? She gotta be clean. Hold on, wait a minute. They bring me this thing here. I thought I saw some shit. Gotta be clean, now I usually don't pray over my stuff, but I see shit like that. That's universal. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. But yeah, it's a bee, yo. What the hell? Yeah, trying to get away from that shit. And so he convinced me to tell him where I went. We got, like, that shit was toxic. Ooh, excuse me. I'm having a sneezy. And so I ended up telling him where I was, and like that shit was a wrap. He came out there, and you know, I had already got my apartment in my name. He ended up moving in, took over the lease, put it in his name. It was just like craziness. And so we dated from 2014 when I moved to New York City. That's when I met him, all the way through December 2017. He was my last freaking relationship. But I mean, I like went on dates and stuff with guys, but that's the reason why I'm single, I guess. That maybe part in due to like, or maybe due in part to, that's that freaking Pinot Grigio starting to kick in. But maybe due in part to like, you know, just wanting to guard my heart, guard my life. And, you know, I'm very protective of myself, right? But then I think it also has to do with like the dating market too. Dating market of men, and it's just like, I don't know, they don't do it for me. I come across a lot of men, now don't get me wrong. A lot of men, but I just be like, I'm like, they don't do it for me. And plus, I think I'm happy being single. Like, I saw a meme on social media that really resonated with me. It said, I don't remember the exact words, but it said something like, you know, if you're gonna be with a person, or you want a person to be with you, like your presence has to be stronger or of more value, right, than that person's being alone, right? Like me being alone, because I have a lot. I enjoy being alone a lot. I've been alone, right? I spend most of my time alone, and I've adapted very well to singlehood. And so for me to get into a relationship and break away from my singlehood, that person's presence in my life has to like outdo fucking me being alone. And that's really hard to compete with, I think. That's what the issue is. People, guys that I've come in contact with, it's just, they don't do it for me. You know, they can't outdo the feeling that I have when I'm alone by myself, because I have peace. When I'm by myself, I have peace. I'm able to focus. People think I'm talking to myself, okay, because I don't have anybody in front of me. I'm not talking to myself. Even if you wasn't on here and it was just nobody watching, like, I upload my videos to YouTube, okay, so there's somebody listening. But yeah, I like being alone, and yeah, I mean, listen, I can deal with conflict, because conflict can be exciting, but it's just it has to be respectful. You gotta, like, that's the thing, a lot of guys be disrespectful. And I even broke it down to one guy I was dating. I let him know, like, it depends on the maturity level of a guy I'm talking to. If I see that he's mature enough to handle an adult conversation, like, I'll talk to him about my previous relationship. Not too much in depth, but I will kind of be surface level and just, like, tell him, like, listen, I you know, a history of this, experiencing certain things, and of course that comes along with triggers, or triggers come along with that, right? And these are my triggers. Like, I know myself, so I would, you know, break it down. I did it to a guy I was talking to recently, and it's just like, I guess it went right over the fucking head, his fucking head. But I'm just like, listen, I don't have to fucking talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have, like, we don't have to even do this. Like, I could just go back to being single, and maybe taking that shit as a joke. They be taking that shit as a, oh wow, what's wrong with somebody? I don't know who that is. But they take it as a joke when I be like, listen, I don't have to do this, right? We don't have to do this. Like, I could just be alone and like, chill, you know what I'm saying? There's boundaries here. Who that person is? Like, they don't know me. What gets me sometimes is like people will come on your page and they have a certain reaction to something that you say. I'm like, I don't even know you. You don't know me, right? So why you, like, how can you have such a reaction to something that I've said when we don't know each other? But yeah, I do try to date. And I know, like, I watched a video recently that I made a year ago, but I shared it, like, recently, right? And I was just talking about how, like, this guy had invited me on a date, and should I go on a date with this guy? And I'm watching the video, like, I think yesterday, and like, And I see, like, the comments of people saying, oh, like, you should go, you should not be so hard on guys, and stop having all these rules, just go with the flow. And it's just like, I feel like the universe will guide me, right? I feel like this is the thing. People worry about this and that in terms of dating. Like, I don't worry about none of that shit. I just feel like, listen, if it's meant to be, the universe will guide. The universe will make it so that it's going to be. You know? There's somebody out there for everybody. We all come with past experiences. We all come with generational traumas. Traumas that, you know, we take part in, right? We all come with all kind of shit. And yet, still, people fall in love every single day. New people, new couples fall in love every single day. And, you know, the universe brings them together with whatever things that they bring to the table. So that's how I look at it. Like, it's meant to be, it's going to be. The way I look at it is like, I hope that's my fucking fingerprint and not their fingerprint, yo. Let's just go with hope it's my fingerprint. Because I love my peace. I don't care to date again. If it happens, it happens. I don't know what to do now. Exactly. I'm just like, right now I'm at a point in my life. I'm 37 years old. I'll be 38 in September. Like, I'm very focused on my career, you know, my career related to me being a psychologist, right? And, you know, also me becoming a published author, traveling. Have ideas for documentaries that I want to create, produce. And I just feel like, listen, if it's meant to be, the universe will bring that person into my life that compliments me and I compliment them, right? And if it's not, then, oh well, you know. I'm not desperate. Like, some people are, they very desperate for love. And I would say that I can admit there was a point maybe when I felt like I was desperate. But then I'm like, hell no. I jumped out. I snapped out of that, like, desperation very quick. And I'm just like, hell no. Desperate for what? You know, like, unfortunately, a lot of men don't have, like, the substance, like, to even sustain a intellectual conversation, let alone a fucking long-term relationship, right? An intimate fucking relationship. When I say intimate, I'm not talking about fucking sex. That's not intimacy. That's just sex. So, you know, I'm just protective of like my energy and my peace. And I think shit, rightfully so, right, Therese? Did I call you Teresa? My bad for mispronouncing your name. Therese? It's just like, you know, we gotta be protective of our energy. And, you know, people, they fucking fall in love at different ages. You got women be 40 years old, 50 years old, 60, 70, you know? If it happens, it happens. And listen, if it happens, right, it may be all, you know, dandy when it happens, but then you may get tired of that person. You're just like, you know. Cause think about love, especially when a person loves you. I know what it's like, right? Even though, yes, I was in an abusive relationship, but that wasn't my only relationship. So I definitely know what love feels like. And even though that relationship had its toxic moments, he still loved me, still, right? Therese or Rest? That seemed like Rest. Therese. Hope I am pronouncing the second syllable correctly. But it's like yeah, even though a person, let's say, can be abusive, doesn't mean like that person doesn't love. And I just thinking back to like just being in relationships, when I look at my life, I've been in a relationship my entire life. You know, like that last relationship that was from 2014 to 2017, that was my last relationship. But even prior to that, I had always been in a relationship with a guy, you know, and mostly living with a guy too. So it's just like, I can be single for a chance, you know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to be in a relationship. I come across guys on the dating site, they're like, oh, wow, you're single? Why you're single? Like you always got to be with somebody. I'm like, yo, I've been dating all my fucking life. I've been seriously dating, like in a relationship with a guy. I've been in long-term relationships. The guy before that last guy I dated, because that was 3 years long, before him, it was 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Before that, like when I was in college, I dated a guy for fucking 2 years. That shit went so fast. I moved in with him. Like every guy I dated, like we lived together and shit. It was like a serious long-term shit. It was commitment. It was like leaning towards marriage. And so I know what it's like, you know what I'm saying, to be thinking about marriage and waking up to a man every single day. That shit can get fucking annoying, yo, if you ask me. Rest. To rest. Rest? I don't feel a type of way when people mispronounce. Naturally, you say it how it looks. It's okay. Oh, to rest. To rest. That's different. Okay. Yo, you don't even correct. See, you nice. I guess I be correcting people. Like, hold that. But I guess it depends on my mood, too, in the moment. You probably like in a chill, cool mood, so your name pronunciation is not really a big deal right now. But, yeah, like, so I'm, like, dating, I'm falling in, like, dating is cool, right? Dating is just, like, getting to know a guy, going places and whatever, having fun, but, like, really getting involved, that, people, like, try to glorify the idea of relationships and marriage, and, like, yo, I know, that shit is blah, it's blah, it's alright. I mean, it has its moments. I don't want to paint it like, oh, it's all bad. I'm just saying that there is a time when you can get annoyed, like just being around a person. Your worlds are intertwined, and it's just like, get away. All of my relationships, I always been the person who was the distancer, and the guy was like the pursuer. Like, always checking on me, want to be around me, and and I'm just like, nah, I ain't checking for they ass. I always been like my own world, and I don't know. It's just, that's how I always been. Yeah. I love love. Yeah. I mean, I've been told by like guys that I don't really love. I mean, I love in a different kind of way, I think. Like, I love, like, I love myself. I have to say it like that. But I love myself, and I've always been that way. I think it's just my personality. Like, I'm kind of selfish in a way. I'm a bit self-centered. I don't think that's ever gonna change. So, whatever. But no, I'm affectionate too. Like, I show affection. I care. I express that I care in relationships. Like, a guy knows, you know, a guy ain't gonna be with a woman if he don't feel like she love him or she care about his ass. What guy gonna stay with a woman that damn many years? So, yeah. But I'm okay being single. It's just that dating shit or being like in a relationship, especially living with a guy. That's just sleeping with a, it's like ew. Unless he bringing it, unless he laying it down, you gotta be laying it down in the bedroom like, yo, this freaking peanut, I don't know what brand peanut Grigio this is. I'm about to ask this guy. Cause the girl, she a little bit young and she don't seem like she got it all together, but I'm about to ask dude, like, yo, what brand of peanut that is? Cause listen, they didn't even pour me that much, yo, and look, I'm feeling this shit. I'm feeling it, y'all. I'm feeling it, but I might give me another glass just for the road. But I wouldn't say I'm done with dating. I'm not at that point to rest. I remind you of yourself and your relationship with you. I'm in Aquarius. I need my space. Yeah, I think I'm saying that because I felt kind of smothered. I mean, obviously, being in a relationship with a person who's kind of like overbearing and insecure, they constantly need your attention. So I gave my ex a lot of attention, and he gave me a lot of attention too. It's just like reciprocal, right? But it's like when he finally got to a point mentally in that relationship where he could, he didn't take it as a threat for us to be apart, because it took him some time, right? And I think that I kind of was supportive in that, because I knew where he was psychologically, that it was difficult for him to even face the reality that we were not going to be together, that the shit wasn't working out. You know, you got to think about, like, what kind of state of mind does a man have to be in to follow a woman all the way from New York to LA? And when I say follow, I'm not just talking about him booking a flight in a suitcase and following. No, he like literally packed up his whole entire apartment, furniture, big ass screen TV, every single, like, all of that shit, paid thousands of dollars to ship it from one coast to the next. You know what I'm saying? Following a woman that clearly left your ass behind your back while you at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I planned all of this while he was at work, and he still came, you know? And so, of course, that takes a process for a guy like that to come to terms to be able to accept, like, okay, not to take it like as a threat against him, because it's not really about him necessarily. It's just about the relationship is just toxic. It's not working. And so he was able to come to that and be able to live on his own, because he was on his own before he met me. Like, he had his own place. I moved in with him because he wanted me to move in with him when we were in New York. I had my own place in Manhattan, and he had his own place in the Bronx. So him being able to readjust and get back to being on his own, you know, though when he moved out from our apartment in Hollywood, California, he moved like right down the street. So it was still difficult for him, but, you know, it's just a stepwise progression, transition. And I guess he all right. I guess he fine. But yeah, it's just date somebody like that. Yeah, when we broke up, I was just like a relief. People be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear. Like, even at my school, because, you know, my colleagues knew I was in a relationship when I started the program. Like, we were together, but they had no idea. People don't really know what you're going through, right? So they just like, when they see a breakup, they just like, oh, I'm so sorry. It was like apologizing, like, for what? I'm good. Like, now I have time to heal. You know, I have space for clarity. You know what I'm saying? Like, to let go of that toxicity, because being with him, yo, that shit, people understand, that shit was crazy, man. Shit, no matter what coast we was on, East Coast, West Coast, New York, or fucking LA, the fucking police department was involved in that fucking relationship. So it was crazy. It was very intense. And, you know, it had its moments, you know what I'm saying? Good moments, good and bad, you know, but just like, yeah, nah, I'm good just being single. Peace of mind, not having to worry about none of that shit. Verbal abuse, you know what I'm saying? That verbal abuse is a fucking demon. That's the worst. That verbal abuse, you know what I'm saying? The person just going off and saying whatever the fuck, but you still with them. Like that's psychological trauma. That's just, it does something to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be with a person right there, or even to care about a person, to love a person, but to endure such harsh treatment where you know the words that are coming out of their mouth is not feeding your soul in a healthy way. It's destroying, it's trying to break you down, and that's not healthy. You can't live like that. So when we parted ways, like, I felt free. It's just like, I don't have to deal with this. Like, why would I feel bad that I'm separating from something that was not good for my health, my emotional health, psychological health, physical health? So, and I think I just wallowed in that freedom. Yeah, it erodes. I wallowed in that freedom, that peace. And finding that peace, when you find that peace coming out of something that was so toxic, it's just like you hold on to it so tight. And even though part of you naturally as a human being may have a desire to get to know a person, to date, you just don't. I mean, I date, but you don't really go there with a person like that. Like, I don't allow necessarily a guy to get too close to me unless he right. Now, if he good people, he good people, you know what I'm saying? But he gotta be right. He gotta be right, you know? So we'll see. I'm kind of full, y'all. I got full quick. We'll see how it goes. I'm not completely opposed to the idea of dating with the intent to get involved in a serious relationship or marry. I kind of want to do that, honestly. I want to do that because I really want a family. That's the main thing. I don't know if I want to do it necessarily just to be in a relationship or be a wife, but I do want to be a mother. And so I remember, like, one of my African friends on here on Facebook, he commented on my post and he was like, well, you don't really have to, like, damn, she fucking up. Yo, I think this is the same waitress, yo. She done dropped a whole goddamn drink. I need to check her. But anyway, yeah, it's like, I don't, like he said, oh, well, you know, you can adopt a child. And I'm just like, of course I can adopt a child. Of course I know that there are a lot of children who need adoption. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean I want to do that. I want to freaking bear my own child. And I'm going to bear my own child when the time comes. It's just these men, though. I'm very protective of that because, like, I'm not trying to, like, be a single mother. Even though I know I can, that's probably sometimes the best thing to do. If you think about it. Versus, when I say best thing to do, I mean compared to fucking worrying about a man being with a woman or being the father, you know what I'm saying, to a child. It's just like, ideally, yeah, you would want, you know what I'm saying, a child to have both parents, mother and father. But if it don't work out that way, you know, to set an expectation that, okay, you want to meet someone, a man, and marry and have kids, and that's gonna be lifelong love, everlasting love till death do us part, and he's gonna be there always, committed to me and to the child. A lot of men only want to commit to the child and say, oh, I take care of my children, but to hell with the child's mother. I don't agree with that. I'm like, no, keep that same energy, bro. Like, you sitting up here bragging about, oh, I'm taking care of my child. I love my child. But then, how can you love something that comes from a woman, but don't have that same love for what helped to create that child? Like, to me, that sounds like a major contradiction. And I feel like they overcompensating for the lack of love towards the mother. They really don't give two shits. And a lot of men, they just want to be seen as a good father, right? Because they know that they ain't shit. I don't have kids, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, looking at women who going through this, like, I can identify because I'm a woman. I relate to their story, and I'm just like, that shit is fucked up. And I'll be damned if I find myself in that same situation. Like, hell to the no. Hell to the fucking no. So, I'm very careful about that shit, right? And guys, they look at it like a challenge. It's just like, man, she all this and that, Oh, fucking well. It is what it is. That's how I look at it. It is what it is. I think I might order me to go. I'm gonna order some more of these fried oysters. I think this is the last one. I think it comes with like 5 fried oysters. And I'm eating the last one. Oh no, there's one more, but yeah, I think I'm gonna order some more. Just to go, like for to go, so I can have it tomorrow for lunch. I don't think this girl really wanna work. She just fucking all the way up. Maybe she been drinking. But Therese, you said that you are done with it. You're done with dating. You don't even you say if it happens, it happens. I mean, that's how it happens though. That's how love actually happens. There's another tour bus. Might be the same one. But usually love happens when you least expect. Like my last relationship, no one could have ever told me that I would have been in love with his ass. But it kind of happened that way. And it just happened when you least expect it to. You just not really looking for it. But I just feel like that shit is not all what it's cracked up to be. I feel like it's not all what it's cracked. I'm going to post the name of it after I leave, just in case, It is a place over here on the west side, though. I'm looking around because I do want to get this to go, and I want to order some more fried oysters to go. Ooh, excuse me, to go. And I'm debating if I want to get another one of these, but I'm like, I ain't even finished this, so how am I going to get another? Yo, I'm going to be walking out there, motherfucker. I'm kind of like a lightweight, and I think what it is that what happens, okay, so I've been drinking Jam Jar, which is a red wine from South Africa. That has been my choice. I would say in the past maybe couple months, when I do have a glass of wine, that's what I'm drinking. I have kind of abandoned the Pinot Grigio. So what it is, I think, is because I'm kind of switching back to the Pinot. And I did have it, I think, the last time I came here. But it's very rare. It's just my body is kind of, it has a low tolerance for it, I think. Even though they about the same percentage of alcohol, I think both are 12 to 13% alcohol, but it also depends on the brand. I'm just ooh, I feel it. And it's just it's a nice day out too, so like that helps too. Just already relaxed, in a good mood. Yeah, I often think I could use a good type. Okay, not even just sex. I know, right? Just conversation. Then I realize I haven't cried any. Okay, I know what you mean, yo. It's like thinking about the good side of being with someone. I think about it too, like, oh, it would be nice, you know, to be held, for a person to actually be thinking about me in that kind of special way. Yeah. And especially if the sex good, that's even a bonus, like icing on a cake, right? If the sex is good, because that kind of forms a certain intimate bond. Especially if, like, you know, if your body is receptive to still having sex and feeling good when you have sex, which my body is still, like, my shit still works. So it's like, yeah, I think about that. But for me, you say you haven't cried in years, like, yeah, it's just like, I don't think I cried either in a long time. Not over no dude. Last time I cried over a dude, I think, was in that relationship. Because his ass was just evil as hell. And it wasn't even cheating. People think oftentimes that relationship breakups is like, oh, because the man cheated. The man ain't even gotta cheat. Some men don't cheat. Some men just crazy as fuck. You know, they crazy. And they spent all of their time and all of their energy focused on one woman. Maybe if his ass had multiple girlfriends, which I kind of explored that with him. Like, listen, what about polygamy? Like, he seemed like he was open to the idea, but at least some of that attention would be dispersed. So I'm not soaking up absorbing all of his fucking energy. Another woman would be able to do that, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm not left with the full responsibility of having to like give him attention. Other women would at least be able to get his ass attention. So maybe when people say, oh, like cheating helped save my marriage, I can see where they're coming from. It's different ways that can play out. But it's just like, nah, bro. For me, I don't think it's so much crying, because it takes a lot to make my ass cry. Like, I think I get mad. I'm more angry. Like, I'm angry. And then if I'm crying, it's because I'm mad as shit. Hurt, I think, yeah, it can be the underlying emotion, but I think it's anger too. It's like, because I may feel powerless. And so, but has a guy done that to me? Nah, I haven't been in that position recently. Hell no, because you gotta care, like, and I haven't cared about a guy like that, honestly, to even cry. I've perfected the act of like letting go and not giving a fuck. That's what it is. I perfected that shit. So I don't even let myself go there mentally, I guess, or emotionally with a guy like that, because don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? But my not giving a fuck is contingent upon his giving a fuck, right? So like, I gauge how much I should give a fuck based on how much he gives a fuck. If he is just like overly giving a fuck, then I'm like, it's gonna soften my heart to want to give a fuck. But if he's just like iffy about that shit, then I'm gonna completely go to the extreme and not give two. Like, I ain't gonna care at all, because I can sense if a guy cares. If he just kind of like halfway giving a fuck, then I'm gonna completely not give a fuck. Now that makes sense. But if I can see like, oh yeah, a guy is just like really caring, and he's really like invested, I'm like, all right, yeah, okay. You know, I have a heart, so I respond to that. You know, I think in the beginning though, of relationships, like dating, get to know a person, that phase is just awkward. It's just awkward because you don't know the person, so you just playing it safe, all that playing it safe shit. it's confusing. It can be very confusing. It's just like I'm kind of all or nothing person. Just go all the way in, nigga. You care about me, nigga. Go in with that shit. What the hell you What the hell you hesitating for? You just kind of like taking it slow. Like just go in there. You know what I'm saying? Just express it. Like we trying to like put a limit, or they be trying to like control, you know, their heart, because they're afraid of getting hurt too. And I had this discussion with a guy I was dating, and I'm just like, see, I know what it is. Like, I have experience with dating, so I didn't know what's going on. But just know that we're not going to get that far, because you playing around and you trying to guard your heart. Meanwhile, I'm guarding my shit. If I see you guarding your heart, shit, it's a reason why you guarding your heart, and I'm guarding my shit too. It's a protective measure, exactly. But how I see how love happens, when it happens organically, people just, they take a risk. Love is a risk. It takes a degree of vulnerability. I was watching Dr. Umar. I think somebody asked him a question like about falling in love, and will he fall in love, or has he ever fallen in love with a woman? He was just like, fall in love. I don't believe in falling for no goddamn woman. He was like, I believe in loving a woman, but falling. And what it means is him saying that he has a degree of, he's guarded, you know what I'm saying? He has a wall around his heart where he can, yeah, he chooses. He's completely 100% in control of his emotions, so to speak, to the extent where he sees love more so as a, kind of like a formality. It's like a political engagement. It's more like, you know, it's the action, of course, right? But he's detached emotionally, and that's problematic when men they cut off their emotions. Oh no, can I have I want to get this to go, but I also want to get a a basket of fried oysters to go.
Fried oysters? Okay.
Yeah, fried oysters to go, and I want to get this to go. Yeah.
The fried oysters, what kind of fries?
It comes with fries? Oh, you get occasion. Yeah.
No, to go, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. And so, falling in love requires a degree of vulnerability and emotional availability, right? When guys be like, oh, like Dr. Umar saying, I don't fall in love. It's just like his emotions are detached. That's for him, though. That's for his protection, which I can understand that. So he would never be hurt by a woman ever, because he does have a history, you know, of his own history of being hurt by, you know, women maybe that he probably was slowly developing feelings for, who knows. But, you know, he don't allow himself to go there. A lot of men don't allow themselves to go there, and they kind of look at women as an object. They objectify women in a sexual way, yeah, but just as an object to interact with, right? To be engaged with, right? In terms of, okay, a woman has certain duties in the household, but she's still an object. That's still an object, though. It's just like, okay, but do you have feelings for this person? You know what I'm saying? To the extent that you're willing to be vulnerable with that person. Hell no. He can cut it off. When you're not emotionally available or emotionally attached to a person, that person can die. That person can walk out your life and you're just like, all right, and they can be replaced. That's what an object is. Objects in your life can be replaced. You're not really attached to that object, you know? If the object breaks or something happens to that object, all right, you go get another one. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what objectification is. And so it serves a purpose because it keeps that person feeling protected and safe, you know, which I understand because he has a lot at stake, right? He has a lot to protect, his image, his things that he's built, stuff like that. But it's just like, how does that serve the other person? How does that serve a woman who is emotionally available, right? And she does care about him and she's attached. And that's what's going to happen. You're attracting a woman because sometimes that's how it happens. A man is cut off emotionally. A woman is, you know, emotionally available and she's falling for him and she's caring, like wondering where he at, and oh, I'm concerned. He hasn't called me. I wonder, you know, if he's okay, this and the other. And he just like out there not even thinking like about her ass, you know. And it's just fuck that. I could not be in a relationship like that. So a lot of men are like that though. A lot of men are emotionally detached. I can tell. No, you know when a man is emotionally available. You know when a man cares and he has feelings. Like his feelings are involved. And that sometimes, you know, it can get kind of crazy, kind of blurry in those type of relationships, and it can get kind of toxic, right? Because it's just intense. You know, but at least you know that person loves you though. They may love you in the wrong way, because they only loving you based upon their experiences growing up and how they understand love to be, you know, out of response for how they were treated growing up. But at the same time, you know that it's real though. You know, like that level of intensity is real when a person invests that amount of energy into something. You get what I'm saying? Versus when a motherfucker is just completely detached emotionally, like they don't really care. It's just, you can tell it's fake. You're like, you don't feel nothing coming from that person. You're just like, it's just not there. Yeah, people, you know, they gotta protect themselves. So when I come across men like that, I come across that relatively often, it's just like, nah. Now, can a man's emotional availability level change towards a woman, like as he gets to know her or as she expresses her emotions towards him, right? Possibly. Because he could just be trying to gauge to see where her emotional availability is at. And once he sees, okay, yeah, she's open, then all right, I can kind of let down my guard and I can be a little bit open, right? And then it kind of happens organically when they come together, like, you know what I'm saying, organically, right? And express those emotions towards each other. But you gotta be real though, it has to be vulnerability. I'm not about to express my emotions with a man like that when, hell nah, he ain't even there. He not even there. So we going on dates for what? Okay, we going on dates, we exchanging information about each other, but there's no emotional connectivity there, right? I'm like, I can do that with a business partner, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what Dr. Umar Johnson is saying, like, okay, he looking for more so like a business arrangement, business partner arrangement. That can be cool, but nah, for me, shit is personal. And I look at relationships how like gang members look at relationships. Nigga, we ride or die for each other. So with that, there comes a degree of emotional connectivity within even gang member relationships. Like, you gotta be all in or your ass ain't in that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? I do kind of look at it from that because it speaks to loyalty. It speaks to a person's degree of loyalty towards you. They may be loyal to the idea of building a partnership that serves a purpose of making money or producing a child, but their commitment is only to that thing, it's not to you, right? Which means anything can come in and replace you to fulfill that particular objective. I'm just like, nah. Shit get deep, you know what I'm saying? But I know these things, and when I'm going on dates or when I'm like interacting with a guy over the phone, getting to know him, I gauge all this shit, and I'm like, nah, you can tell this motherfucker, he might be cool as maybe a associate, you know, as a homie, cool as a, you know, a little homie and shit like that. We meet up when different activities across New York happen, you know, we might link up like that. It might be cool like that for that purpose, but I ain't giving you my motherfucking heart. So, yeah, relationships can be fun though. It can be like exciting. Doing things together. New York do got some fine ass men though. I can't say that. You know, the whole world live here in New York. So you got men whose ethnic background traces from all different kind of places. It's like, damn. Fine ass motherfucker. Motherfuckers be looking at me too. I be looking at their ass. Be like, yeah, you fine, you fine, you fine. You know what I'm saying? I really exchange those looks, but just like, man, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. I be looking at older couples though. There's a lot of old white people in my neighborhood, like old couples and shit. Families too, but like, I look at old couples and I be like, damn, see how the fuck they do that shit. They be still walking down the sidewalk, holding hands. Like, they don't never have any conflicts. I have a client in therapy that I treat, and his has been married for many years, and he bragged about how him and his wife never argue. They don't never have an argument. I was just like, such a blessing. But it's cute though, I guess. They don't ever have an argument because he is a fucking placater. He is a people pleaser. He just agree with whatever she say. That's a smart man if you ask me though. Not that he don't have an opinion. I'm sure he has a difference of opinion from her a lot of times, but is it, I guess for him, maybe it's not important for her to hear it. You know? They just, you got a lot of men like that. They know how to make shit work with their woman. And they just know women because they grew up probably with sisters, you know, aunts, female family members and stuff. And so they just know women. And it's just like, they don't need to validate their masculinity by being right with a woman. They don't have to feel that they need to be right. Because a woman and a man most likely is not going to agree. We just see things differently. We are different creatures. Biologically, psychologically. If he's also your best friend, that can be fun and helpful, yeah. That's how it was with my previous relationship. Before my last one, the one I dated for 5 years, he was my best friend. Thank you. I'll go ahead and take the check too.
Okay. You started?
No, not yet. But that's how he was. We were best friends, and so that's how we were able to sustain a relationship that long. And even after we broke up and I decided to leave Atlanta, I left his ass in Atlanta and moved to New York, we were still best friends. Even through my last relationship, we were still best friends. Like, he was my go-to person talking to him about that shit. You know? But, you know, all good things must come to an end eventually. So, yeah, it can be good, I think, like, having, you know, being friends first. And I think that's really how it should start out. Just get to know. Sometimes people be just rushing. They want to rush into a relationship. Unless it's, I mean, if it's organic, it's organic. You can't slow down nature, right? You can't really fight nature. Nature is nature. That's going to take its course. So if the feelings are there and they're mutual on both ends, why fight it? Just go with the flow. But if not, and you feel like a person is interested and you want to get to know them and vice versa, like, just get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? Get to know each other. Wait, I thought the drinks, hold on, baby girl. Hold on, when she come back there. I thought the drinks was happy hour, unless I'm reading that wrong. They say happy hour from 12 to 7, baby. Hold on, this is $9 drink. My battery about to die. I'm gonna catch y'all later. That shit. I gotta correct this $9 drink. I see my tab. I'm about to bounce. Anyway, we don't have to correct that though. Have to correct that. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, hold on. Hold on, baby. Hi, I thought we had happy hour, not? Oh, I think she charged full price for it. $5 for the Pinot, right? Okay. Save that $4 to come in handy. It's a nice little spot. Outdoor.